Hey there, it's Anastasia Forrest, and today I'm going to share with you 5 things I've learned about podcasting since I started podcasting a whole month ago. That's right, I am still very new to this particular medium, and I have got a lot to learn, that's for sure. But I do feel like I have something I can offer the beginner, and I will just pretend I'm talking to myself before 1 month ago, because that's where I was about a month ago, a complete beginner. So, first, I'm going to chat with you about equipment because I have gone through some interesting experiences getting a hold of the equipment and getting the equipment to work for me. So, the one of the first things I invested in was a camera. The camera that is filming this video currently is a Canon EOS M50. It is a nice camera. I spent about $700 on this camera. I did have some challenges with it and actually still working those kinks out. Um, my biggest challenge was getting it to stream to my computer via USB cable. Um, and I just had freezing and, inconsistent working. Like sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But today it's working and I don't know. I'm feeling like I found some workarounds. So hopefully it will continue to work and I can actually use it for my podcast. Otherwise, I also invested in a $20 webcam. Not so good. And then I spent about $100 on a webcam because I thought if the Canon wasn't going to work, I would use the $100 webcam. But the quality is just there's no comparison between the video quality I'm getting from this Canon to the video quality I was getting from either of the webcams. I would say don't like not start your podcast because you need to have perfect equipment. Definitely don't let that hold you back. I've been doing my podcast even though I had my Canon and it wasn't working consistently. I was using the $20 webcam. I think last week I tried out the new webcam, the $100 webcam. No, the quality of the visual isn't the best it could be, but the point is that you're doing it and you are getting the ball rolling and you're getting that time in of experience. And so definitely don't let that hold you back. But I'm just sharing with you what my experience has been with equipment so you can make your own decisions. Okay, second of all, let's talk about mics. So this is a Shure MV7 and I absolutely love it. Kind of a mic person, appreciate a good microphone. This is particularly designed for podcasting. And I have this Motive app open right now, and I'm going to just show you what you can do. You can change the tones of your voice. This is a natural tone. This is a bright tone. And this one I was using was dark. I kind of like the dark. You can also, this is set to receive your voice from a close proximity. You can also set it to far, and then you would want to back it up and talk from back here, which also sounds pretty good, pretty clean, pretty crisp, pretty natural. Um, so far, I really am enjoying this microphone. This was about a $250 investment and well worth it. Well worth it because after all, you're making a podcast. I'm making a podcast, and audio, the sound of the audio is important. It doesn't, again, don't let it hold you back if you don't have the perfect microphone. It's fine, just go with it. But for me, this was a good investment because I really appreciate a good audio sound, and I wanted to get that good audio sound. Um, and I'm still working on using all this equipment in the proper way. I've just ordered an arm stand that's going to hook onto the desk. This is on a boom stand right now, on a mic boom stand. Okay, so we've talked about equipment. So I think the first thing I learned, I underestimated how much time I would spend tinkering with the equipment and trying to get it right um, before I would get. I'm still working on it, so I haven't arrived anywhere. I've just I've found some improvements here and there. I'm still still figuring it out. Um, the second thing I've learned after starting my podcast is how easy it is to actually get it out there into the world. Now, this contrasts with the challenges that I've experienced with the equipment aspect. As far as once you've got it recorded, edited, ready to go, it is really easy to get it out there and it's not expensive either. I use a program called Buzzsprout, and basically, you just upload the audio file, write in a description, title of your podcast as well, and then you just press, publish. I don't know if it says publish, but something like that. And that's it. It's out. And it distributes it being Buzzsprout, distributes the podcast to a number of outlets, actually more than I had even heard of. You can choose which, outlets you'd like it to be distributed to. Um, and, it's just really easy. So that part's really easy. And honestly, it's actually free at the beginning. It's free to upload a certain amount of time of content. And then if you want it to be around for more than 3 months, I believe it is, then you pay a small upgrade fee, but it's really not expensive. So I would say that that aspect of it has been a pleasant surprise. The other thing I'll talk about, let's talk about a third thing I've learned since I started podcasting. I've learned that you don't need to be afraid to ask someone if you can interview them. I've learned that the majority of the time, the response will be yes. When? you know, I think every person that I have asked to be featured on my podcast, only one has not responded. And I know that person's extremely busy. So, the majority of the time, you're probably going to get a yes. So, if you see someone in your world that could provide value to your audience, your podcast audience, there's nothing to lose by asking them if you can interview them and feature them on your podcast. A fourth thing I've learned since starting this podcast is that it's taken me a bit more time to prepare for each episode than perhaps I would have anticipated. Now, I am a little, well, meticulous. And I have initially planned each of these episodes out by writing a entire script with questions, things I would say, and really just laying it out for myself because I was scared that I would get in the podcast and I would be, we're live streaming to Facebook from Zoom and, I was worried I'd be live and kind of run out of stuff to say, like, just go blank. And I was also concerned I might go off topic. But, and this might be the case, but this week I'm actually gonna try just winging it a bit more. Now, I did write down some questions, don't get me wrong. And don't leave that much up to chance. I have some rough draft questions, but instead of typing out an entire script, I'm going to leave space for the conversation to unfold as it will, and space for me to be spontaneous and in the moment, with that person, with that conversation. So we're going to see how that goes. All right, and finally, the last thing that I've learned from um, starting this podcast, I will talk a little bit more about the software that I use. So I've been using Zoom to initiate, a conversation with the interviewee. I basically, send them a link ahead of time to a chat, a Zoom conversation, and they log in at the 10 minutes before the time. We chat a little bit. And then there's an option on Zoom if you upgrade your Zoom account to live stream to Facebook and perhaps to other places too. I haven't really explored it. I've just been live streaming to Facebook, just trying to keep it simple at this point. And anyway, you can live stream right to Facebook. So that's what I've been doing. Um, and I figure it's a good way to kind of put a little bit of feelers out there and see what kind of response I get, and to kind of let my sphere know about my podcast. And also, what I do at the same time is from Zoom, there's a record button. So you can hit record in your Zoom program and you can record the conversation as well. And after you're done, Zoom automatically creates a file. It creates several files. It creates a video file with the audio, and it also creates an audio only file. And then I use editing programs to help me edit both of those files. So for the video file, I use iMovie generally. Um, and for my audio file, I use either GarageBand or Logic. And both of those are excellent. You can also find some fun music, pick out a theme song for your podcast, and you can use um, you can use some settings in those programs to fade in and fade out. I record my intro and outro where I first of all introduce the guest and introduce the show. I record those straight into my iPhone at this point as voice memos, and then I plug those audio files in, at the beginning and at the end of the podcast in, Logic or GarageBand. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Um, and I hope this has been helpful to you as you begin your podcasting journey. I will make a future video as I'm further down along the path and share what my future self will know that I myself currently have no idea of at this point. Yeah, overall, don't hesitate. I mean, don't let anything hold you back as far as perfectionist tendencies. Trust me, I have them. But it's if you can just get over that and really focus on your mission, the mission of your podcast, then you're going to be fine. And it's a worthwhile endeavor. Absolutely. All right. Till next time. Bye.